Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Coffees with James. I am James, and hear me roar. This is my morning coffee show. Welcome all. Welcome. Now, day old coffee. Now, what do we want to talk about today? By the way, thank you for welcoming me back. Thank you all. You have been a very generous crowd. You've been so good and supportive of me. Today I want to talk about a few things that I've been holding off and just kind of studying, and this is involving several things that have been going on in the world recently. Black Lives Matter, the Blue Lives Matter movements and protests and all that other stuff. I want to talk about Antifa. I want to talk about so many things that are going on in the world today that are just the world is going crazy. Like, literally fucking crazy. And I just want to talk about it. I really do want to talk about it because I'm better with with verbal communication than I am visual. One thing I want to say though about this whole thing, about this Black Lives Matter thing, is that, again, like I said before, like in my other previous ones, I was getting angry because I was feeling like I needed to take a break because this was getting too much. Like the protests, and people were fighting too much, and people were just like, and these are friends of mine who were just like fighting like on sides. They were just attacking each other, and I was like, I had to get away from it, like, because it was too much, and I felt like I was getting angry for the sake of being angry and nothing reasonable. And also what I was doing yesterday was just kind of like just chilling out. Like this whole entire week I was just chilling out, still studying the news but chilling out, trying to make my next episode for Dreams About My Brother, which will be coming out soon. I just got to get some editing in. I wish my camera would be more appropriately acceptable to me, so yeah, so be prepared for that. But I am excited. Furthermore, I just want to say it's coming out, and there's going to be another part to this. So, yeah, this is going to be that's going to be a long continuing series. So I might have to organize everything and put it into a nice little basket for everybody to watch. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for doing the show, and I hope all you like it. So, because I put my effort and time into it. So, yeah, it's one of those things I've been trying to get done. So, it's hard. I mean, it's hard right now, but at the moment, it's also kind of fun. I mean, I had fun going. Yesterday, I was doing some urban ruin exploring. I was being an adventurer, and I gotta say, though, I miss doing photography, stuff like that, and just fun stuff, you know what I mean? Like going to places like you're not allowed to go to, like where taggers go, and like you find some very serene spots. And I kind of miss those spots. I kind of miss like areas where it's just like nobody goes to, you know what I mean? Like we're so like congested in this small town where I'm just, it's causing me claustrophobia. I mean, granted, I was living, like, this is why I was smoking so much marijuana, was the fact that I live in a claustrophobic area, and like the only way to escape it is through like getting high. Thankfully, I'm not an alcoholic. And to one of my followers, Claudia, excuse me, one of my viewers, because this is on YouTube. One of my viewers, the liquor stores. There are some places that have liquor stores open. Other places don't. Pennsylvania is one of them that doesn't have them open, so I'm like, okay, fine. But a lot of other people have like liquor stores open. They also have pot dispensaries open. They also have abortion clinics open. And I'm thinking to myself, why is that an essential business? Right now, I live in Pennsylvania, but the churches, the gyms, the vitamin shops, which another thing my dad kind of talked to me about, like, you know, why wasn't that open? That's an essential business right there. I mean, that is the first line, and I'm going to say it up front because I'm not, like, people kind of consider me a health nut. I'm not a health nut. I am a fitness enthusiast, and there's a difference. A health nut is like they will restrict everything from their diet that's bad for them, and just, I refuse to eat sugar. It's like your body does like. Granted, I've tried the carnivore diet, and this couple of months I'm going to stop drinking milk for a while. Stop drinking milk for a while, not a long time, not permanent, but for a while. So. And I'm just out of frame. And by the way, that's a fake AR-15. That's an M4. That is a airsoft rifle. So deal with it. I can prove it to you. So, yeah. So anyway, it's been getting kind of difficult. I mean, people, I feel like vitamin shops should have been an important thing, and that's another thing you should realize, like why those certain shops shouldn't have been open, like. Pot dispensers, I'm okay with not being open, but I don't know. It's something strange about that. One of my friends sent me this thing by Millennium Millie, and she was talking about how Antifa is really just kind of like a eco-terrorist organization, meaning that they're willing to harm people to quote-unquote save the planet. And I know people out there, it's like, oh, that's conspiracy theory. So is the JFK murders, and that's where they all started from, too. Nobody say conspiracy theories back before then, so. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I kind of like my hair like this. I need to part it. And also, I want to talk about something. June 11th, I want to talk about this very important thing that I've been doing for 30 days, and you probably know what it is when I say 30 days. But I feel like I should talk about it. Not right now. Now's not the moment to talk about it. I want to talk about it in 30 days. Why do I want to talk about it in 30 days? Quite simply because I'm embarrassed to say about it, but after the 30 days, I want to address it. I want to address this thing that I've been doing. And, or not been doing, but overall. But, I feel like we're living in crazy times, you know what I mean? And back to this whole Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter and all that shit and all this. Yesterday there was a protest, and I was kind of taking pictures of them. One of the pictures I was taking, and I gotta edit it because the exposure was just too bright, so I gotta tone it down just a bit, was the protesters. It's the protesters, the Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot thing, and I can't breathe. And they're being escorted by police, and I'm just kind of laughing at that, going like, how ironic it is, the irony of it. Like, you're doing this protest, but you're also being escorted by police. You're being protected by the people that you are claiming that is causing this violence. Which, you know what? Before you say anything, no, I'm not a thin blue line guy. I believe there is police brutality. I've been talking to a lot of ex-cops and a lot of policemen out there. The police, there are some areas that the police are inherently racist. And I have to believe that. And, if you don't think the police are not for us, Officer Anderson, I bring him up every time because he talked about this lockdown shit, and it's like, you were everybody, again, I was talking to my one friend, she was like, these stupid people who want a haircut, and I'm like, I want to talk to her, verbally about this, but there's people out there who are getting fed up about this shit, and, they want to go back to their normal lives, and they're like, oh, if you flatten the curve. And I feel like, and this is my opinion, this is my thing, all right? And I know people out there are like, oh, you're wrong, you're endangering people, you're the problem to this, you're an idiot. And it's like, I don't care. I do feel like this whole thing, hey, Pam, is bullshit. I feel like they're fear-mongering everything. They're straight up propping this up to be bigger than it already is. It's not as lethal as I think a lot of people are making it out to be. I mean, some people are making this out to be the bubonic plague, and a lot of other people are making this out to be nonsensical. I think it's just a very hardcore version of the flu. And we've dealt with the flu, which, by the way, is a coronavirus. When they talk about coronavirus, they're talking about the flu. This is like, and apparently the experts got everything wrong. By the way, those masks that you're wearing don't protect you at all. Like, which, by the way, oh, you're breathing in bad air. The air we breathe is bad. Yes, indoors. But outside, it's fine. It's fine. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? I mean, and plus, I want to just address something, too. Is that masks only protect this part of your face, this part right here. They don't protect you from picking up money, which can be, by the way, if you want to spread a lethal virus, that's a way to do it. I mean, if you ever played the game, The Division, that's how they did it. You know, ooh. Ooh, there we go. Just kind of pulled a muscle there. That's how they did it. You know, we're touching money. We're, you know, touching things all the time. You know, we're eating things from stores and stuff like that. You know, apples that we haven't washed yet. Do you really think the mask's gonna protect you? And don't give me this bullshit, well, it's like the experts. The experts also got shit wrong. Look at the counter arguments of things they've got wrong. Look at them up. This whole thing is a fear-mongering thing. This entire thing is a fear-mongering thing. It's the same thing with the global warming thing. It's like, we're destroying the planet. It's like, no, we're not. The planet's fine. You're using this global warming agenda thing to scare people, and basically, I'm fed up, like, listening to it. I do believe in climate change, but is it man-made? No. It's natural. It's a cycle of the Earth. And, you know, I also believe in pollution, because pollution is that's the worst thing we should worry about, like dirtying up the Earth. Like throwing garbage everywhere, putting like toxic things that shouldn't be there. That's what I'm more worried about than, or carbon footprint. I mean, we need carbon on this planet. We need like nitrogen. That's the cycle. Does anybody understand that? Do you get that? It just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh to no end. And I find it funny because it's like, yo, like, calm down. Oh, excuse me, I have some allergies going on. I have some major bad allergies going on, but it just makes me laugh to no end. But also, like, and again, I'm not calling anybody stupid or anything like that. It's just so batshit crazy. And then, like, the whole Antifa march, because people are now, like, the whole rioters and looters and stuff like that. You know, oh, we're like, and that's another thing too. People are talking about. People were protesting the lockdown, and look this up: CNN, MSNBC, all the left-wing media were calling these people dangerous, lunatic, assholes, whatever name you want to call them. But the protesters for George Floyd, which they were doing the same thing. Oh, well, that's different. Well, they're noble, brave, extraordinary. It's like, yes, I get it. You're protesting, but you were calling those people fine, but they're not doing social dissonance, I'm going to say. Social dissonance, holding two ideas at once that contradict each other. You know, they weren't doing the things they were supposed to do. You know, and George Floyd's thing, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, absolute fuck. You know, what, did the virus decided to take a break? And it's like, the virus doesn't care. It's like, you know what? And I don't believe it anymore, because I'm tired of your phony baloney fucking lies. I am tired of your phony baloney lies. Like, what is the truth now? And granted, I only say be prepared because it just makes me laugh just to see people, like, become so hot. Like, you look this up, people become hostile to people who don't want to wear their masks in like these public areas anymore, or don't practice social distancing, because everybody has become so indoctrinated into this whole like cult mindset that they've become extraordinarily violent. And there's people who have become extraordinarily violent, towards people, like, they attack people, they assault people, or here's another thing I want to say. I'm done apologizing. Don't ever try to guilt me for being white. I'm done with the whole white guilt thing. I'm proud of my white Irish heritage. I'm a proud white man. I'm proud of being white. Deal with it. We're done. We're done with this bullshit. You know, I'm not getting on my knee. I'm not apologizing. Go fuck yourself. Excuse me. But it's the truth. I'm done. I'm done apologizing. I don't want to be... I'm not submitting anymore. No. No, I'm sorry. Call me a racist. Call me a bigot. Call me what you will. But I don't... What happened to George Floyd was bad, but I'm tired of the white guilt bullshit. Stop it. I never owned... My people never owned slaves. The Irish never owned slaves. If they did, okay, those groups of people are bad. But as a human being, my history of my family has never owned slaves. And I'm tired of people, like, you know, in my family talking about this. Oh, wait. But then, like, when they're confronted by it, they're just like, oh. It's like, look, I'm not a big confrontation kind of guy, but I'm going to start, like, fucking stepping up. Because it's like, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough of you. You know, I've been, like, you know what is this white privilege bullshit? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, you don't get stopped by the cops as much. Well, I don't act like an asshole. And that's another thing, too. Nobody ever wants to point out, like, yes, I get it. The cops are fucking racist, but they found traces of methamphetamine and other drugs and fentanyl in George Floyd's system. And don't tell me this is racist. No. Look this up, and I'm sorry, but what those cops did was wrong, okay? Other cops have pointed this out, including black cops, by the way, have pointed this out as being absolute wrong and not by the book. But he had something in his system, and this whole bullshit, like, me and my dad were talking about this, and we were like, yo, like, you know, this whole thing about the communities, these black communities in the inner suburbs, you know, this is what I want to say. These communities have either become, like, toxic and a basket of crabs. Like, if one black person, like, here's the thing, here's a fucked up thing, and this is not me, you can look this up and look at your own community. You would, like, if you were to sell, how fucked up is this? You would throw a party for someone getting released out of jail, but you won't throw a party for someone graduating college. And I know people out there are like, well, what he did? It's like, find out the community who does that. Or better yet, how many times, and I'm talking to any young black woman or black man, go into a convenience store, talk to your neighbors, talk to your people that you know, and to ask them about the game. This whole thing about it's a white man's game, it's a white man's game. Remove that fucking part of white, and it's a game. Fine, play the game then. If you, okay, oh, no, they don't allow, no, play it. Play the rules. Dress properly. Speak properly. You know? It doesn't matter about your skin color. Because if it was a white man's game, if it was really a white man's game, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be at home. Back home. Because my life is kind of shitty right now. I live at home. I'm kind of poor. I don't have a car. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you fucking kill me? Back. It's absurd. It's absurd that you keep playing this game with yourselves over and over and over again, because it's like, it's annoying. It's like, and plus, this whole no snitch thing. You know, oh, well, this one kid in this neighborhood gets arrested by the police, and it's like, oh, he's a good boy, he's a good boy. If he was a good boy, how come he's getting arrested? How come he has a list of fucking charges on himself? Huh? Like, this is my absurdity, and I've seen it in, like, my community too. Like, you know, especially when you're working construction, they hire the worst fucking people. Like, you know, I don't care if they know how to swing a fucking hammer. All he knows plenty about ductwork and stuff like that. Well, he's got 3 baby mamas, and these are white people too, by the way. 3 baby mamas, and he's got 12, like, a long list of criminal records, and he's had drug use problems before, but he knows how to do HVAC work. You praise that motherfucker, but that motherfucker who wants to, you know, who has a clean record, has a college degree, is trying to get his life in order. Oh, he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. Fuck you. I'm sorry, but Mike Rowe's an asshole. Like, I love, and I know I am bringing up Mike Rowe, but Mike Rowe is an asshole. His show Dirty Jobs, like, what was his mindset, actually? Excuse me. And I got the show Dirty Jobs. It was an interesting show. I loved it. But the truth is that you look at that job, like, some people look at that show and are like, I don't want to do that. Fuck that shit. Like, the reason why we're all like, and I think he's wrong about this. I really disagree with Mike Rowe on this. Not everybody wants to be rock stars. The truth is, everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be rich. And they're using art to get to that next level. I think that's the problem right there. It's like, art's fine, but try doing, like, biology. Try going into a field that actually will pay you money. You know, science, or medical, or lawyer, doctor. Something that helps society. You can be an artist. You can make art on the side and make your art. That's fine. Because everybody, in my mind, like, the guy, the one, I forget the guy's quote, but he says, everybody's an artist, but you got to find your art. I don't care if it's in clay, video, audio, whatever, photography, you know, Photoshop. It doesn't matter. You got to find your art. You know, or better, you know, finding ways to make money off the government. You know, and back onto the whole topic of, but again, Mike Rowe made this thing about, you know, just don't follow your passion, get a trade, and it's like, you know, but then, like, all this coronavirus shit happened, the lockdown, and millions of people lost their jobs, and he's like, well, we're all essential on this. It's like, really, you asshole? You talked about, you know what, everybody, you know what, we are essential. And I'm not talking about the construction or the blue-collar jobs that are really functional. I'm talking about the people who, every day, like, who do the little things in life. You know what I mean? Like, the guy who runs the tattoo shop. The guy who you would never consider being an essential part of your daily life is essential. You know what I mean? Like, the guy who works at McDonald's. The guy who works this job. Or the guy who works that. I'm trying to find purposeful jobs, but we live in a functional society. Every gear, I don't care how big it is or small it is, every gear matters. And that was my biggest problem with Mike Rowe. It's like, look, I don't care what you think of me or think of the show, but, like, you really, I don't follow into anybody's bullshit and, like, as much as people think I do, because it's like, there's some bullshit out there I just don't agree with. Like, first of all, why are you doing this instead of this? Or it's like, there's so much bullshit going on, you know what I mean? It's like, look, I like Mike Rowe, but, like, Mike Rowe is just, like, such, and again, I'm going off on him, and I gotta go do some running. Early start this morning. I feel great, by the way. I hope I'm not gonna die. But no, it's this weird, nonsensical bullshit that we, you know, this argument that we've heard so many times. Like, I don't know. There's this whole thing about blue collar workers and white collar workers, and we should praise the blue collar workers. And, you know, there's some stereotypes of the blue collar workers. I'm not gonna lie. There's, like, you know, the uneducated or the unread, or, like, they have this mind. Everybody has this mindset that they're more important than everybody else. It's like, I take pride in my work because I'm a, you know. But it's really good. In reality, it's like, listen, like, I get it. Yeah, everybody wants to be known, and it's like, I don't know. It just fucking bugs the shit out of me. It's like, you know, if you're working, getting a paycheck, going to a job that you don't like, grinding. If you are grinding, you are doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be doing a good job. Like, I get that. Like, people don't get that. Like, look, I don't care if it's a white-collar job. If you're working at a bank, like, you're doing an important job. If you're working at a hospital, you're doing an important job. If you're working in a white-collar job, you're important. If you're working a blue-collar... If you're working a job, you're important. You keep the society functioning. But back on, like, and again, back to the community thing, it's like, you know, this whole no snitch thing, too. I want to go back to the community thing, too. Oh, don't snitch. It's like, we can't snitch because we don't want the cop. Like, no, I'm sorry, but if you cared about justice, you would have to tell the police that, oh, by the way, Jamal, I don't care if he was, like, Jamal did something bad, he needs to go to jail. Because you need to weed these people out. You need to weed these people out, you know? And I don't care, like, this whole idea of, like, oh, if you snitch, you get ass kicked. It's like, fuck off. Stop threatening your own people, god damn it. Alright? I went on a little too far, but... Alright, I think I've gone too far, but... I'll see... I think I'm done. Because it's 25 minutes long in, and... I have shit to do today, so I'll take care everybody, and I'm back. Let's get